Alrighty, guys, this is Snugsonblitz, and we're coming to the end of this year's auctions. I was gonna do a review of the tanks tonight when they drop, but there are only two left. And, well, pretty much every OP tank that people have wanted for ages has already come and gone. I'm talking about the Annihilator, which lasted, what, 2 whole hours? The Smasher, 2 whole hours. The VK-90, 3 hours. The Cairo 40 ton, 3 hours. I don't know how long they were there, but they weren't there for long. And I attribute that to the fact that gold was plentiful over the Christmas event. You may have picked up some in the store for a discounted price, but there was a lot of free gold given away from events. I mean, they had a ton of mystery boxes, and people were just getting gold left, right, and center. So they didn't mind paying premium prices for tanks. They didn't even want to wait. They was like, yep, I got gold. What the hell? I'm just going to get it. If you didn't get them, there's always next year. A lot of people are pissed and say, hey, it wasn't fair because, I woke up, blah, blah. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But if you really, really, really want the tanks, just set your alarm. So, I mean, they're just digital tanks, guys. Don't get all bent out of shape if you don't get them. They will come back. They'll be around again, so no big deal. Anyway, since the last two tanks are probably inconsequential, and if you really, really, really need to find out what they are, just jump online when they drop tonight. But I'm just here to let you know what tanks are still around and at what prices, if there are any good deals to be had. So let's just jump right in, shall we? The T23E3, well, unsurprisingly, it's still around. People have actually paid for this, even full price. I was like, are you insane? This tank is a fun, I use the word fun uh, in quotes, medium tank in tier 7. It's got a fast firing gun and it's enjoyable, but not when you're up against a platoon of smashers, annihilators, forest witches. Those tanks just, they're just pains. So tier 7 is a tough tier to play. And so, yeah, I don't recommend you get this unless it's 3,000. That's fair value price, if you ask me. I mean, I picked it up for free, so, and that wasn't the first time it was available for free. The Type 57, it's a solid tank, but it's not selling because people want the new shiny objects. This is a solid tank. The gun is for control. Aim in all the way, otherwise you're not going to hit anything. But 6,500, it's a fair price for a solid tank in tier 8, but it'll still be around, so just wait for the final price. It's going to be 5,500. That's going to be the final price for that. So just get it then. It's a very solid tank, so just wait around for that one. I would say that's a must-have in your garage. The Type 5 Kyrie, not so much. Unfortunately, it's going to be more expensive than the Type 57, its final price. Today, I would just get the Type 57. Tomorrow, I'll still get the Type 57. The Kyrie's a tank destroyer with no turret. Will I get this? I might add it to my garage, but I'm not really that excited about it. But at 5750, that's probably as cheap as you're going to get a tier 8. That's not that old. So, up to you, but I wouldn't say it's a tank you must have at all. What else we got? We've got the Object 590. Very solid tier 8 medium tank. Very enjoyable. 8750, it's a bit overpriced, as I said earlier on. I mean, 8,000, I'm not sure that's going to be the final price. Maybe 7,000 will be the final price. I'm not sure it'll get down there, unfortunately. If it does hit 7,000, I'd say that's a definite pickup. But right now, I just go for the Type 57. It's the better deal of the two. But if you got the gold, I would definitely say this is a tank you want to have in your garage. What about the Defender Mark 1? Awesome tank. This is an awesome tank, but a lot of people have it already. It's not selling fast. I don't think it's going to sell out until probably the last day, which may be 5,500 as its final price. At that price, it's a great deal. This tank is very competitive still today. It's never been power crapped or anything. It can do the business. I think this is a must-have in your garage, but just wait for the final price. Or when this gets down to about 300 left. I don't see them zipping out the door, but when they've got about 300 left, you may want to pick it up at whatever price, if you want to add it to garage. Anyway, the Borask, a great tank. Definitely a great tank in tier 8. Fun tank. More for pros, I would say, but 10K overpriced. I mean, the Defender Mark 1 is just as strong, if not stronger, in my opinion. Object 590, almost as good, sometimes better, sometimes worse. It just depends who's driving, I guess. This is a pro player's tank. Plenty left. Just wait for this to drop down. Hopefully, it'll be around for maybe 8K, 7.5K. That's when I think it's around fair value, 7 to 8K, somewhere in that realm. What about the WZ-121 GFT? This used to be the most sought after tier 8 tank, but as you can see, those days have come and gone. Doesn't have the hit points to be super competitive today. Everything else about it is great, but the lack of hit points really hurts it, especially against tier 9 tanks. I mean, 2 shots from tank destroyers or a heavy tank and a tank destroyer in tier 9, and you're pretty much dead. So it looks like you'll be able to get this for a very good price, around 6K. I mean, that's a steal. Get it. I don't think it's ever been that low before. I don't know if it get down that low. Just again, keep your eye on this number here. When it drops to about 300, that's when you're gonna have to pick it up. I say it's a must-have. It's just a lot of fun. Great sniping tank. Gun definitely works. Armor also works too. And lastly, the Force Witch. I mean, it's a strong tank. Is it as strong as the Smasher and the Annihilator? Yes and no. I think for most players, I would say no. I mean, the Smasher just hit one shot and you've done 1,000 damage. Sometimes you're like, oh, okay. This one, you have to work for those. You have to get into good positions. Your pen is not the best sometimes. You do have great armor. In a platoon, this tank is awesome. It's a very, very fun tank. But is it worth 15K? Well, it's a tier 7 tank, for goodness sake. A Smash and Annihilator, these two tanks are among the most OP broken tanks in the entire game, no matter what tier. Force Switch alone, I would say it's very good, very strong. But you've got to understand how to use the mechanism. The shots don't just fire your 4 shells and your DPM goes way down. But great tank, 15K overpriced. Again, when this drops about 300, that's when you have to pick it up. Is this a must-have tank? Yes, I think it is. Is it as much fun as the Smasher and the Annihilator? No. Can it be as strong? Yes, for sure. But yeah, I don't know, 15K for a tier 7 tank. I mean, I wouldn't pay that. I got it for $10 in the Halloween event, so Smasher was expensive to start with, but this tank was a deal when it first came out, just like the Annihilator. Only you can be the judge there. Your tanks, your gold, your money. But yeah, I would probably go for the Defender Mark 1. That's got my highest recommendation. If you don't have it, that's probably one of the best tanks in the game, if you ask me, if you understand how to play a medium tank. And the Pew Pew gun. Oh, it is a tough tank to deal with in certain positions. Oh my goodness me. WZ1 GFT is also an excellent tank, and you'll probably be able to get it for a good price. So I would say you've got to add that to your garage. Type 57, if you don't have it, very strong tank as well. You'll be able to get it for a steal. Object 590 and the Barask, but except the Barask is just overpriced, unfortunately. So I prefer the Object 590 right now. You've got to think about the value you're getting for these tanks. Are you willing to pay 2,000 gold more for a Barask over a Defender Mark 1? I would say no. If they were the same price, I would say just get them both. But is the Barask better than Defender? I don't think so. Is it more fun? Maybe. But in the right positions, there's nothing you do against a Defender Mark 1. That thing is freaking deadly. So anyway, those are my thoughts. What 2 tanks will be added to the garage? Anyone's guess. But we know what it won't be. All those tanks you wanted. I mean, I've been hoping for the T-54 Titan. We haven't seen that for a while. Maybe that will show its face. They've already released, what was it, the BZ Tier 9 tank, 58-2 is it? And then the Concept 1, that was a big shocker. So, maybe they will surprise us. But I don't think it's worth taking the time to talk when they are dropped. Um, just check yourself and see if they're worth picking up. If they're ones you want, get them. If not, oh well. Anyway, that's all I got for you for now. I'll see you tomorrow. Snugs on Blitz out.